Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerian collective in your birthday season, might I add. Let's get it going, my gods. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic. Let's get it going. What do we have for my beautiful Cancerians in mid-July? What energies, messages, insights can we pull for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer. Please and thank you. And while we get this first card out, I would just like to once again wish you all a very happy birthday, whether it's past, whether it's still coming up. We're towards the back end of Cancer season here, so I hope you all enjoyed it. But what do we have going on? Please. Okay, there's been a lot of intense energy around the zodiac this weekend, which I'm sure a lot of you might already understand why. But okay, so we do have this imaginative water sign type of energy that I often see with a lot of our readings here. It's a little daydreamy, it's a little thought-based, it's not necessarily a rough thing. For some of you, it could be a future focus as well. So there's a lot of symbolism within that card. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit about this card more in depth. So if you look at the image here, we see two little clown ballerinas. One is up on a tightrope, walking around, performing. The other one looks like she's having herself a little nap. Now, both seem pretty cool to me, but I always interpret this card as this one down here daydreaming about doing this up here. So, of course, when this type of energy shows up, you might be daydreaming a little more than usual. You might be in your head thinking a little more than you normally do. To me, maybe whether it's thinking about what you're going to do in the future or how you're going to work something out, like there is a big focus on what's to come, right? It's not so like reflective on the past. To me, it's more of like a future focus, which can be very good. But again, I see this energy very often in all three water signs. So this is something that Cancerians are pretty adept with dealing with, right? So when we see this, now is a good time for any sort of creative project. I always say that with this type of energy because your imagination could be firing on all cylinders. So get that energy out, my friends. Let's dive into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Cancerians, please, guides. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Explosive Talk. So there was a really big focus around communication, whether coming from you or somebody else. It did feel very fiery. Now, I will say, out of all the zodiac signs, earth signs were picking up more fire this week than anyone else. But we'll see. I could still bleed over to the water signs. But yeah, big focus around talking and communicating. So let's see. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. So let's get it going. 3 cards here for Cancer, please. What do my friends have towards the back end of their birthday season? Thank you. All right, Knight of Swords. That's a big action card. Also mental in its own way. A little different than this one, but it's of the mind. That's for sure. Someone making a move here. Someone taking some action whenever we see that. Okay. So we are starting off strong. We're starting off with a bang. Let's get a couple more out here, because sometimes that card could be a little bit aggressive. Let's get a couple more. Okay. Okay. Lots of people. We have the King of Pentacles here in position number 2. Let's see. Is it going to be one of those readings where it's like so many court cards all over the place? Interesting. Totally different. One more. For a lot of you, there could be a big focus on work and career with those energies. And we do have the 5 of Cups, which unfortunately, this is a card that I've been seeing a lot this week as well for a lot of different signs. So let's talk about it, Cancer. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, yes, elementally, we are split pretty nice. We have some air, we have some earth, we have some water. The combinations can be nice, but with the split ends here, with the air and the water, It's a lot of internal energy, which again, that's something most Cancerians are used to dealing with, like a lot going on the inside. There's a certain intensity here, especially on the split ends. So it's going to be intriguing to see how it all plays out, especially with other individuals as well. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we have our good pal here, the Knight of Swords. Now, you may just be connected to an air sign or a prominent one when this is here. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, could be any of those. Now, it doesn't have to be a person. Knights are all about taking action, making moves. Okay, whether it's something you're planning on doing, something someone else is planning on doing. This is the fastest moving one. Like, out of all the knights, this is like the shock troop. This one's coming in quick, it's coming in hot. So there might be something you are very hyper focused on where it's like, all right, I got to do something, I got to do it quick. Or at least somebody could be feeling that way. It is like focused in on something in a very, very big way. In its positive sense, it could be things picking up quick, could be things moving along rather quickly. But in its challenge, this knight is so fast it could also be temperamental. It could be aggressive. This knight can sometimes represent conflicts or aggression. Okay. And especially with that Five of Cups on the back end, we do have some feelings that could be a little up and down whenever we see it within this reading. So we'll want to take a look at this knight. Knights can also be messengers, similar to pages, so there could be communication, but there's a little more action. There's more follow through behind this knight. It's like, okay, I'm going to do something. I have to do something. I'm going to do it and make sure it happens. Now, moving to the center, totally different vibe. We have the King of Pentacles. Now, for a portion of you, you might just be connected to an Earth sign. We have half the zodiac out here already, right? So the King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Doesn't have to be gender specific, but when it comes to all kings, they represent control of their respective suit. Pentacles is more earthly matters. So we're talking home, we're talking family, we're talking work, career, business, things along those lines. And this is usually a very nice, abundant type of card. So for a lot of you, there could be a good influx of money when the King of Pentacles is here. You might be more business, work focused and minded right now. Great business ideas and ideas for the future could come to a lot of Cancerians when this card is in the mix. Now, as with all cards, it does have its challenges. The Knight of Pentacles is known to be a little bit stubborn. It could be planted. It could be something where even though there's action being taken, this could be an energy that sticks around for quite a while, or one that you may have been dealing with for quite a while. So like, I don't want to say it's stuck, but it very well could be. There could be a certain feeling of feeling planted when this King of Pentacles is here, pardon me. So we'll want to see what's up with him for sure. Now, again, this could just be representing people. There is a good energy around that king, though. That's the one thing I do like. Now, moving to the back end, we do have what could possibly be a little situation on our hands. We have the Five of Cups. Now, I always say when it comes to cards like these, like the Five of Cups, like the Three of Swords, like the Ten of Swords, these are all on a spectrum. Okay, it doesn't always have to be worst case scenario, but to me, it could be anything from like feeling a little glum, feeling a little down, something might be bothering you, your emotions might be a little haywire when the Five of Cups is here, all the way up to being like really, really upset, really sad, even like tears. It is the River of Tears card. Okay, if that's not you, it could be somebody else. Now, there are positives to this. Even though our emo friend here, dressed all in black, is going through it, this is not a final destination. That's one thing I always say about the Five of Cups. There's cups that are still standing. There's things off in the distance. It's like something like it's not over till it's over type of energy, which is pretty good, I guess, depending on the lens you're looking at it through. But surrounding this King of Pentacles with the movement and then that, there could be certain situations you're dealing with or that you have to deal with for whatever reason. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Cancer, please? Guides and Spirit Team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Knight of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Knight of Swords time. Why is this Knight of Swords here? Thank you. Whoa, out of nowhere. Something completely out of nowhere. All right, so we do have the moon in reverse underneath this Knight of Swords. Now, that is one of the cards that I link to Pisces, but also Cancer, because the moon is your ruling luminary. And the moon is my biggest card of mystery. Been seeing it floating around a few other signs this week. So, of course, whenever I see the moon in reverse, to me, that's something emerging very quickly, or a situation coming out of nowhere, or someone making a move, taking an action out of nowhere. So I feel like it could be any of those things. When the moon's in reverse underneath this Knight of Swords, I feel like it's very black and white, very simple. This could be a surprising situation or an unexpected situation that just like, boom, it popped in out of nowhere. It's like everything might have been chilling and boom, this comes in real quick. So yeah, I do feel like it's mainly that. Now, of course, could this be revolved around somebody else's actions? Absolutely. Where it could be a person where it's like, okay, why are you acting like this? I'm not used to this. So I'm not sure if this is something that's already happened or something that's going to come up, but I feel that's the main message here. I feel like it's very simple, very cut and dry. There's not a lot of nuance to this one. Moon in reverse underneath this Knight of Swords, like unexpected situation or action being taken from somebody. Now, I can also say this for a lot of you, you might have a little bit more oomph in you, a little more pep in your step. You might be a little more action oriented than you normally are in this time as well. So now could be a great time for traveling or changing things or making moves. But I feel like it's all bundled up within this energy, okay? Especially with your card in reverse underneath the Knight of Swords. You might be even acting a little more spontaneous than you normally do, okay? So let's just keep moving over. Does it have to be bad? Absolutely not. It doesn't have to be. Just fit it with your situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if various things like catch you off guard a little bit. So let's see what's up with that King of Pentacles. Why is that King of Pentacles here? Thank you. Ace of Cups. So this is our silver lining. This is beautiful. And I do feel like regardless of the nature of this situation in the front and even what we see on the back, there is a silver lining. And whatever situations you're dealing with or you're focusing on, to me, I don't want to downplay it because I don't know what every Cancerian's going through, but it's like, all right, well, it's not all bad, or this could lead to something better. I don't know why it's coming through like that, my friends, but intuitively I feel like, okay, well, yeah, this was kind of unexpected, but it could lead to a result I want, or it could lead to something better. Now, this center alignment is absolutely beautiful. It's primo type of energy. With the King of Pentacles and Ace of Cups, we have the earth and water combination, which is a lot of prosperity. There's a lot of possibility. There's a lot of blessings and abundance attached to this. All aces represent opportunities and offers as well. So again, another card of communication too. So I feel whatever this is in the front end, with this King of Pentacles in the center, there is a nice even-keeled energy to talk something out or smooth something over here as well. So if you are going through any issues or problems, like communication could really put you at ease, put you at peace, and you could smooth something over through communication in this time. But aside from that, whatever this is that could pop up that catches you off guard, it's like, okay, well, it's not all bad. Like, that could have been worse. It's not all bad. And there could be a best case scenario coming from it. That's how this feels, which is good, right? So let's move over to the Five of Cups, though, because that's still sticking out there. Even though like we have this little out of nowhere type of energy, but a silver lining. I want to see what that Five of Cups has to say, though. So let's go in on that. And then we'll do a quick little recap before we get to the shadow. So why is the Five of Cups here? Quick. King of Swords, another person. So one thing I will say here, Cancer. Oh no, I bent the corner of my card. It's all good though. I'll fix that later. The King of Swords, air sign energy, again, showing up in a very prominent way. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type of energy. And what does this king do? It's a planner. It's a strategist. This is someone that uses a lot of mental acumen and thought. So when I see this underneath the Five of Cups, I feel like this is a little bit of a warning for some of you. Overthinking, and this is a topic that comes up a lot in tarot, not just my readings, but other people's. If you are analyzing or scrutinizing something a little too much, or if you're letting it take up the majority of your brain, the majority of your focus, I did see a lot of that activity in the very beginning as well. Overthinking it is only going to amplify it. So whereas we do have silver linings, which could bring some positives down the road, overthinking it might put you in a sour mood, okay? And Listen, easier said than done. Everyone is prone to overthink at times, but I just feel it might be easier for a lot of Cancerians to fall into that. Another portion of you, there might be an air sign. There might be difficulties with an air sign. It could be as simple as that. But the King of Swords is always trying to keep control of their thoughts. So when I see this, control of the mind with the Five of Cups for a lot of you, see the silver linings, try to have a more optimistic mindset if possible, whatever it is you're going through right now. I mean, even if things are calm and chill, even if you're in this mode right here, keeping your mindset right is very important here on the back end with this King of Swords. So simple. I don't feel like this is anything we need to raise the alarm about. Now, of course, it could be strategy and planning, but I don't really feel that here intuitively. So let's go through and do a quick recap because there's a lot of people showing up. So again, there might be other people's energies affecting you in big ways, whether it's work or family members. Just keep that in mind. And you're a very sensitive sign. You're sensitive to energy. So it makes sense that a lot of people could show up in your reading and affect your vibe. But let's go through and do a quick recap here. Position number one, we have the Knight of Swords with the Moon in reverse. Like I said, whether this is a surprising or unexpected action from someone, like, well, okay, why'd you do that? Or why are you acting like that? It could also be a situation that pops up out of nowhere. Now, does that mean it has to be a bad one? No, it's just something that kind of catches you off guard. Because getting to the center, we have the King of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups. It's like, okay, well, didn't expect that, but the best possible scenario could come from this. There's a big silver lining. So I do feel there is benefit to be gained from whatever this is. A lot of you could have an extra pep in your step as well with what I'm seeing here up front, which could be good. That could push you forward in a lot of areas of life, whether it's work, career, or business. Connections, you know how it goes. On to the back end, we have the Five of Cups with the King of Swords in the upright, someone trying to work on their mindset, positive thinking. The power of positive thinking is very important here. I do feel like overthinking or overanalyzing something or investing too much of your thoughts in it could really take away from the optimism that we have here in the center, because something good can come from this. I don't know why I keep saying that, but please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here for my Cancerian friends. Guys, let's see. What do we got in the shadows? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end. I'm sure a lot of you already know that, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be very good too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. Get this shadow card out here, please. Thank you. King of Pentacles, another person here. So I do feel like we really need to overemphasize the center of this spread, even though there's like stuff going on here and stuff going on here. Even in the shadows, we have the King of Pentacles showing up once again. So there is that big focus on the monetary and the business. Maybe Spirit is asking you to throw your energies more into things like that, like keeping yourself busy or working on business ideas or throwing yourself into your career at this time, right? There's always a time and a place to do things. And I feel for a lot of Cancerians, what you put your effort towards, especially when it comes to the material world, could bring you a lot of abundance down the line, especially with what we saw here. So I feel your shadow card this week isn't so much as talking about being stuck, because you're really not, especially with all the stuff we have surrounding this. It's more about like hunkering down and staying focused on these pentacles, okay? And that could even be stability in connections and relationships as well, especially if you're connected to an earth sign. But I feel for a lot of you, this is a very positive, abundant type of energy. So my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.